morning, everybody. Good morning. Sawadee Kan Chow. Lighting my cup. Hopefully you can all hear me, see me, feel me. I am here. I am live. And today, we're going to talk about a few things. One of which is whether or not Thais are poor, because a lot of people, I don't know what it is, ignorance, whatever. They think that most of Thailand is dirt poor, and it's just not true. And I have quite a few statistics to go over, and I don't know how accurate they are, but we're going to talk about whether or not Thais are as poor as you think, if there are indeed a huge number of Thais that are living in the poverty level. And also we're going to talk about a little something having to do with the CCCP. No, CCP. China. We're going to have to talk a little bit about something that happened in England with Chinese, if you can believe that. Which to me is very interesting. Good morning, Mr. Carnivore. How are you? Good morning, Mr. Vixter. Good morning, everybody. Hello, how are you? Yeah, this thing about China's really, I just found out about it late last night and looked into it this morning, and all I can say is it is what it is, and we'll go over that in a few minutes. Right now, hey, guess what? The dollar is getting stronger against the baht. It is 35.69, which is, to me, that's great. If it hits 36, oh, I'm golden. It's fantastic. 35.69 is quite good. Air quality 93, which is not very good. Moderate. It's 82 degrees, high 89, low of 78. And the feel like temperature right now is 87 degrees. What are they doing? They're setting up the little, they're setting up where everybody eats over there. And I don't know if they cleaned it or whatever, but they had to take all the tables away. 73% humidity. So all that's quite interesting. I mean, it's great that the dollar is stronger. We don't want it to be under 35. And of course, we want Thais to be very noisy. There's nobody here. There's some people sitting around, but anyway, a lot going on. Did I even bring that? No, I didn't even bring it. Forgot the news from the last time. I didn't do the news the last time, and I was going to do it this time. I forgot it. So we are going to talk about this thing that happened in London. But first, do me a favor, leave a thumbs up, subscribe, become a member of this channel. You can do that very easily for as little as $1.99. Subscribe, click the notification bell, become a Patreon patron, super chat, Cash App, buy me a coffee. All that stuff is down in the description. But you know, I really want to talk about this for a few minutes. What happened in London. And basically what happened was, you know, just hear me out on this. A man was playing the piano in a public place. He was in the train station. He's playing piano, and some Chinese walked up to him. They said, "We really like your music, it's great, but don't film us." And he said to them, "Well, you're out in public, I can film you. We're filming everybody, you know, in the vicinity, and if you're in the film, you're in the film. If you're in the video, you're in the video." And so then they started getting a little more aggressive. "No, please don't. We like your music. Please don't put us in." And now they came to him and said, "You know, if you put our videos and you use our videos and our photos of us in this place here, you are infringing on our rights." So, of course, he countered that they are in a public place. It is a law in London that if you're in a public place, you are subject to be videotaped and photographed. And, you know, sorry, but this is the way that it is in London. And the thing is that they're all dressed in red, and they've got their little Chinese flags, and they're waving them around. So he says to them, "This is not China. This is London. What is the deal where you feel like you can tell me what I can do?" "Oh, no, no, no. We're not telling you. We're asking you not to film us." And he said, "Well, you can ask me, but I'm saying no. I'm going to film everything in this area because I'm on the piano. This is what I do." That's what he does. He plays piano in public places because they have pianos everywhere in London in public places. So he plays piano, and then he has a guy with him who shoots video. However, these Chinese walked up and said, "Don't take footage of us. Don't shoot footage of us." So it kind of got a little nasty because, you know, he got up from playing his piano and he said, "Listen, I'm going to play piano and I'm going to film. And this is a public place. It's not China. We're not going under the communist law. I don't know if you're waving a communist flag. This is a communist flag you're waving. We're not in China. We're in London." And they were and so then he reached a little bit forward. He reached forward and touched the girl. The girl was a girl. There was a couple of people. There was, I don't know, probably about 10 of them. But he reached forward and touched her flag and said, "This is a Chinese flag. We are in London. Whatever, but you are acting like I have to do what you tell me because I'm in China. I'm not in China. I'm in London." And there was a guy with her, and he starts screaming at this man. This guy's name is Brendan Kavanaugh. He starts screaming at him, "Don't touch her, don't touch her, don't touch her." Now, he wasn't touching her, he was touching the flag. But okay, he said, "I don't want to touch her, I'm not trying to touch her." He backed away, and he said, "But I'm going to film." He goes over and starts playing piano or whatever. The police come over. Now, they pull the Chinese away, and the male police officer, very correctly says, "You're not in China. This is a public place, and if you're here and you don't want to be filmed, walk away." And it got a little more heated, they got a little more upset. And so the female officer walks over to him, to this guy Brendan Kavanaugh, and starts talking. And she's in the wrong. He's telling her, this is a freedom of speech, this is a free speech issue. It has nothing to do with me playing piano or even filming, but we are in a public place and I'm filming. I have every right to do so. And she kept going, "Yeah, but you're upsetting them and that." He said, "I don't care. I'm not trying to upset them. They came to me. I didn't go to them." So she kind of backs down, but she was an idiot. But the other police officer was over there talking to him, and people were backing him up. They were saying, you know, like, what are they trying to do here? And so, you know, at some point, they separated them, and now they are trying to get the video taken down from YouTube, which I don't understand. Why would they even? Oh, because of our privacy. He's invading our privacy. No, you're in a public place. And I understand they could come to him and go, listen, I really don't want to be filmed. Well, then he could say, listen, don't you just walk away? Oh, I want to listen to your music. Well, then you're going to get filmed. So now, this is a worldwide incident. He's going on TV. The TV wants to talk to him. The Chinese are pissed off. And he said, they're trying to take this video down because I invaded their privacy, because they walked into my video. So please download the video. So, of course, I watched it and thought, this is exactly why I don't like the Chinese government. Not Chinese people, Chinese government. And the way that they operate, and their operators operate. So, I downloaded the video, and guess what? I'm going to be putting it up on my website, at AmericanInBangkok.com. I'll even put it up on my other website that I have now, Coffee Shop Rankings. I'm going to put that up, just so that everybody can see this. Oh, fuck. Stop putting it in Thai. What don't you understand? Please. I'm asking you, Gennaro, stop writing in Thai. I don't want to have to put my glasses on to look at your what you're writing, and most of the time you're just, I don't know what you're doing, but I don't want to see it. Okay? This is the last time I'm going to tell you. And I'm glad you say Sawadee Krap to everybody. Very nice. But just say it in English. This is an English channel. This is not a Thai channel. I'll speak in Thai if I want somebody to speak in Thai. But I don't want you to speak in Thai. And you are a foreigner, not a Thai. You don't need to be writing in Thai to everybody who doesn't understand what you're writing. That's the whole point. Well, thank you very much there, Fire Dude. I'm glad you subscribed. Appreciate it. So now the question is whether or not they're going to take it down from his channel. They are trying to. I don't know if they'll be able to. Oh, it's so funny, Gennaro. It's not funny. I don't find it humorous. You don't listen. You're the moderator, at least for now. If you do it again, you won't be the moderator. That's what I'm going to say. So don't write it again, please. I can read it. Some people might be able to read it, but most people cannot. This is an English channel. Keep it that way. I don't want it in Chinese. I don't want it in Thai. I don't want it in anything. Well, this is exactly what I'm talking about and why I don't like it. And quite honestly, I don't like the fact that the United States does this in many ways also. You know, I don't like some of the things that they do because you're overseas, but you're an American, you have to abide by this and abide. I don't like that. I don't think it's right for them to do that. And for the CCP, I mean, it's ridiculous, and they're so staunch about it. They're so stoic, and they believe that this is the way that they have to be. And you know what? It's like editing the Disney movies so that they can play in China. I hope everybody sends those videos over to China so they can see the full unedited versions of these Disney movies so that the Chinese can get their little panties in a bunch. This is the thing. And quite honestly, when I see this, it makes me angry. Because it's like, who are you to tell me what I can do in this country? If I'm in the UK and I abide by the UK laws. If I'm in Thailand, I need to abide by the Thai laws. Now, in Thailand, if you remember, I had a problem about filming. And it was because supposedly I was filming in public. Which at the time I was filming, it was legal. Now people can ask you to not film them or to take the film down or whatever it might be. That is the new law. But nobody really thinks about it. However, when I had it happen to me, I was on the back of a Songtao. I'm sure some of you remember. I was on the back of a Songtao, and this guy said to me, you're filming, you can't do that. And I said, yes, I can, but I'm not filming inside of the Songtao anyway. I wasn't doing it inside the Songtao. I definitely wasn't doing it because I didn't want to make anybody feel uncomfortable. Because if you're sitting there with the camera on people and pointing it at their faces, then you're just like, somebody's just, you know, little old ladies are just sitting there doing nothing. And I just didn't feel like I needed to do that. It was unnecessary. I was filming outside. And I happened to turn and I saw him, and then he said something to me. And I said to him, don't touch me, don't touch my stuff, get away from me, because I wanted to hit him. My first thought was, I'm gonna knock this guy out. I thought, I will do this. I will smash this guy in 2 seconds flat. And then I thought, but I'll go to jail. So that's why I didn't hit him, and I did the correct thing, which was, go ahead, call the police. Go ahead, I don't care. They're gonna laugh at you and say you're a moron. Nobody should have an expectation. Yeah. Well, unfortunately, that's how it is. And, you know, if I'm out and about, I gotta figure that there are cameras on me. Even here in Thailand. Now, it's funny when, you know, when the police are involved, all of a sudden the cameras, oh, it wasn't working. That kind of happens here. But if I'm gonna be out and about somewhere, I gotta figure they're probably filming me somewhere. They got me on film somewhere. And do I really care? No, I don't. I don't really care. These people were just being difficult and just trying to push their agenda. That's exactly what they were trying to do. And I didn't know it at the time, but one of the ladies said, don't shoot him, don't shoot him. And he seemed to think that it was, are you armed? Is the Chinese guy armed? As my mother told me, it could have been, don't shoot him, as in don't photograph him, don't shoot any video of this guy, because then you're doing exactly what he's doing to you. So I don't know exactly what happened, but now this just happened a couple days ago. So they are now reviewing it, and you know, Google is going to decide what they're going to do. Are they going to do anything? They're going to leave it up. But it's a big deal because he's going, you know, he's going to go on TV, and it's not because he was like, oh, I want to push my agenda here where it's free speech. No, he's not even doing that. It's that people see what these Chinese people are doing, and they're like, this is wrong. Now imagine if somebody said that to you and you were here playing a public piano, you would be like, dude, just get away from me. That's all you have to do, walk away. It's so simple. Yeah, exactly, Gennaro. I think it was a long while ago. I don't know if we're talking about the same guy. He was an idiot. That guy was an idiot. And the reason he was an idiot is because of some of the things that he said to the Thai motorbike driver who beat him up. He had to mouth off, he had to use cuss words, and he was drunk, and he deserved what he got, honestly. Had nothing to do with the fact that he was live streaming. What it did have something to do with is that he was live streaming a girl who was sick, and he was telling the motorbike driver, mind your own business, get away. Oh, I don't know about that one. this is new, then I didn't see that. I have no idea who you're talking about or who got assaulted. I don't know. Don't know anything about it. Which is, I don't watch a whole lot of YouTube, but I do usually get things through the grapevine. Well, this is Twitch streamer attacked by crazy man in Pattaya. Korean streamer gets assaulted and bleeding. Streamer gets punched in Thailand. This is 5 months ago. Female streamer gets assaulted in Thailand. That was 2 years ago. 6 months, 5 months, 13 years, 1 year. Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it happening, you know, a month ago. Yeah, I don't see this. I don't know who it was. I have no clue who it was. I don't even know. Chinese streamer gets attacked. The vlog that made me famous. I don't know, but if you get famous for being attacked while you're live streaming, it's probably not a good thing. Yeah, all these are older, so I don't know. Whatever. You know, Thailand is different than London, and it's different if somebody asks you politely and says, you know, or you're in a confined space and they cannot get out of there, so they have to be filmed. There is a difference, and the laws are different. If you're in London, well, then there is no law saying you can't film out in public. So there's nothing anybody can do. Too bad. You know, walk away. Anyway, I thought that was very interesting, and I do think it is interesting. So, you know, keep that in mind if you're out live streaming. I mean, I always do. I mean, you know, most of the time I'm live streaming. I don't think I've had more than 2 or 3 problems in 11 years with live streaming. One was on that Songtao, and you know, I just got off. I had to get off the bus anyway. I got off where I was supposed to get off, and the guy didn't. Nothing happened. Another time I was on Sukhumvit Road, and it wasn't that the guy didn't want to be filmed. It was I didn't want him touching me, and I told him, "Don't touch me. Get your hands off of me." And he kind of backed away, and that was it. And I don't remember the others. Anyway, yeah. So that's that. If you like your freedoms, don't let the Chinese take it away from you. That's what I'll say. Do me a favor and leave a thumbs up, subscribe. Before I get going in this other subject here, subscribe, hit this, what is it? Hit the notification bell, the super chat, super thanks, buy me a coffee, Patreon patron, what else is there? Wise, I didn't put it up there again today, forgot to do it, put the Wise, now the name of this video, I'm going to put the video up for people that want to look at this, and here it is right here, it's up now. It starts at about 9, somewhere around 9 minutes is where the problems start happening. I mean, it is a long video. I think it's about 40 minutes. But about 9 minutes in is when things start happening. And it's interesting to watch because, you know, this guy's a piano player, and he's very, very good. You don't want to see him using these to defend himself because, first of all, if he hurts his hands, he makes his living playing the piano. Second of all, he's not a little guy. He's not, you know, he's got to be around 6 foot. He's not tiny. He's a little older though. So it's very good that he restrained himself, but in another video that he put up, he did say, I was starting to get peeved, we'll say, because they just kept at him. And, you know, it's too bad. Listen, it's not your country. That's it. End of story. Get out of here. Go home. And, you know, to me, it's like if they kept at it and said, no, you got to do this, you got to do that, well, then put him in jail. You tell him, you're going to go to jail because you're harassing this guy. Okay, I'm going to go to jail? No, I'm going to go home now. All right. And then when they go home, then if they want, they can contact YouTube and they can work it out with YouTube. You know. So, anyway, today we're going to talk about whether or not Thai people are poor. And it's, you know, it's all relative. But the first thing that I think we need to do is differentiate between the way that their income is judged. Because there are two ways. One is the median, and the other is the average. I'll just read this definition right off the internet. The median is the value in the middle of the data set, meaning that 50% of data points have a value smaller or equal to the median, and 50% of data points have a value higher or equal to the median. For a small data set, you first count the number of data points and arrange the data points in increasing order. So what that means is the middle is what you're judging. Hey Andy, how you doing? The middle figure is what you count, because 50% are lower, 50% are higher, so you count the middle. The other is the average, which is very simple. It's calculated by dividing the total number of income by the total population. So if there's, let's say, 10 people and the total that's earned is 100,000 baht, then you divide 100,000 by 10, and then you get the figure. So those are the two measures, median and average, and they are important. You know, and I've seen some that are very, very low, and I cannot help but think, where are they coming up with these numbers? I'm looking at something right now. It's on the CEICdata.com. It covers over 200 global markets. And supposedly it's a reliable macroeconomic data and advanced analytic tool. And when you look at Thailand's monthly earnings, it says in October 2023, the monthly earnings were $428, compared with the previous figure in September of 2023 of $416. The average from 2001 to 2023 is $330, which is a pittance. The data reached an all-time high of $479 in December 2020 and a record low of $145 US in January 2002. Okay, so these do not sound like a true measure of how much people earn here. To me, at least. I don't see it. I don't understand it. And it doesn't explain how do they come. It didn't say this is median, this is average, this is whatever. It doesn't say that. Now let me see something here. If I go to 10 years, no, it won't tell me. Yeah, so, and here is the monthly earnings. This is what they've got on their website, okay? And again, let me put this up for you guys. There it is. Okay. Now, you see places like Albania, $877. Austria, $3,331. Australia, $3,786. And you go down to, say, United States. Let's see here. United States, $4,702. That's up from the previous month. And then you look at United Kingdom, $3,230, the equivalent. Uzbekistan, $351. Vietnam, $331. Then you got Thailand, $428. I still don't understand how they came to these numbers. But let me see something. Yeah, let's see here. Well, they got all kinds of figures here. Construction, yeah, they have all kinds of figures here. All right, let's go to the next one because it's a little bit more, to me, it's a bit more real. And this is what is this here? All right, so this here is a quick average on the average salary in Thailand. This is from November 10th, 2023. It's a very short read. It's talking about how Thailand has one of the biggest economies and it's welcome to expats and migrant workers, blah, 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 blah. In 2020, the average salary in Thailand was $619. It rose to 27,352 baht. That's $877.64 per household, based on the 2021 insights by the National Statistical Office. The country ranked higher than the Philippines in overall average. What is going on here? Wages. Let me see here if they have any more recent. Okay. Somebody with a bachelor degree here earns at least 24,026 baht per month when they first start. Non-degree holders earn up to $15,621 a month. Now, this is the minimum wage here. Yeah, the minimum wage in Bangkok, this is in dollars, $10.21. Chiang Mai, $10.02. Udon Thani, $9.87. That's per day. Okay, average pay. Do they have a surgeon in here, profession? No, they don't. Surgeons, judges, and lawyers are among the highest paid jobs in the country. They can earn up to $17,629.87 a month, depending on their experience and length of tenure. Software engineers, meanwhile, can earn at least $1,536.11 per month. A project manager, about 2,500. An ESL teacher, about 900. Customer service agent, $1,044. All right, let me see this here. All right, let me go to this other one here, which is time doctor. All right. As I said, Thailand, the economy, it's the second largest economy in Southeast Asia. The average salary in Thailand is 1,160,000 or $34,342 per year. That's the annual salary. That is the average. So obviously there are a lot of people who earn much less than this, and there are some people who earn much more. The salary ranges from $24,500 to $433,000 and above. But what happened? Okay. The median salary is 88,600 baht per month, implying that 50% of the Thai population earns more than this and 50% earns below this, which is, if you think about that, that's a pretty good living here in Thailand. 88,000 baht. Hang on a second. I don't know why. There we go. Does Thailand get a yearly minimum wage increase like a lot of countries? I wouldn't say it's yearly. Sometimes they get wage increases, and they're talking about it again now. I don't know if they're going to get it or not. But hang on a second, and I'll give you some more info here. Let me see if I can find that out for you. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I have those figures. Transportation, logistics, engineering, e-commerce, banking, accounting, insurance, medical services, telecommunication, professional services, information technology. Yeah, it doesn't have. Graphic designer is $863. Okay. Thailand, $877.64. Wow, it says here the median income in Australia is $6,992. Thailand has its downside. English proficiency is very low. Looming labor shortage. Thailand planned to allow more migrant workers to enter the country. This is due to the labor shortage it faced in manufacturing. Cybersecurity issues, which is good for my kid because that's what he studies. Data protection is still loose in Thailand despite having an approved Personal Data Protection Act. Data breaches could continuously occur until the law is implemented in June of 2022. So this is an old article. How old is it? No, this is new. I don't know what they're talking about. All right, let me see here. Okay, the median income, yeah, the median income has gone up over the years. It's saying it's about 23,000 in 2021. Now, 23,000 is not poor in Thailand. You're not poor. Now, let me see something, because there was something I was looking for here that told me, supposedly, if you earn 50,000 a month, you are considered rich in Thailand, which I find to be very interesting. 24,000 a month. Well, that's the thing is about working for the government is that they get a pension. In the long term, they get a pension, which is something, and they have some benefits. Other than that, though, the financial aspect of it, their salary is not very good. 24,000 is not much. I mean, Alex works part-time now. He's just a kid. He works part-time, and he's not really... This is just something that they need some help, so he's going in. He makes 600 to 800 every day. Yeah, no, they get benefits. I know when they work for the government, they get benefits, so that's a good thing. Now, let me see if I can find this here. You know, my thing is acting all squirrely here. I saw this earlier, and I don't know what I did with it here. So the factors that influence average Thai salaries: experience, the profession, human resources manager earns about $152,000 a month. Real estate, it says here $70,512. And these are from Salary Explorer and Average Salary Survey. The education and the city. You're going to earn more if you live in Bangkok than you will if you live in Phuket or Chiang Mai. Employees in Thailand are likely to get an increment of 8% every 17 months on an average, which is high compared to the world average of 3% every 16 months. So they get raises quite frequently. Let me see here. What else do we have? That doesn't tell me anything. A monthly salary of at least 40,000 in Chiang Mai. Well, I don't understand why it says this. This is what Thai girls think. They think 40,000 is rich in Chiang Mai. Oh, okay, here we go. This is a while ago. 40. Okay. A monthly income over 100,000 is already quite well off in Thailand. If you have a net worth of at least $1 million US, you'll be able to do most things in the country. Okay. How rich is rich? So there is some controversy about what is considered rich. It depends on who you're asking. Now, personally, I think if you're anybody under 50,000 is not earning a huge amount of money. 50 to 100,000, they're doing fairly well. Over 100,000 up to 200,000, they're doing quite well. And over 200,000, forget about it. They're doing very well here in Thailand, extremely well. That's my own opinion. Yeah, 50,000 baht in Thailand is okay. It's not a huge amount of money. That is my opinion after being here for 30 years. Now, in the old days, I would have said 50,000 is a lot of money. 30,000 was, 30 to 40,000 was pretty good. Now, 50,000 is pretty good. You can be comfortable on 50,000 if you live alone. You can be very comfortable, especially if you're a Thai, because Thais have some benefits that foreigners don't have. Let me see something here. What is this? Wealth ratings. There's a lot of super rich in this here. Okay. In 2016, the richest 10% citizens received 53% of Thailand's land. Monthly average incomes about 100,000, and the top 1% alone received 20%, earning over 380,000. Income inequality in Thailand is amongst the highest in the world. So what I would say is, no, the majority of Thailand is not poor. However, there is some discrepancy between the middle class and lower class and middle class and upper class. The middle class, I think, is starting to thin out a little bit from what it used to be. This doesn't tell me anything. All right, here we go. What is middle class in Thailand? The upper middle class income bracket can vary depending on the source, but generally it is considered between 100,000 and 300,000 Thai baht per month. Upper middle class. And I would agree with that. And I would agree because I'm in that category. My wife and I are in that category. And while we are not rich by any stretch of the imagination, we are not poor. I know that. So yeah, that's interesting. Now let me see here. Income per capita. Now, this doesn't tell me anything. This is one of those things where you got to pay for it, so you don't get much. Again, let me look at this. I'm interested in knowing what you guys think, because most of the people that I talk to seem to think that Thailand is not that well off. But if you ever talk to anybody else, you'll find out there are more Mercedes-Benz in Thailand than in most places in Asia. Yeah, the upper income is considered to be between 100,000 and 300,000 baht. Cost of living and standards can vary significantly. Okay. So I don't know what the deal is here. Ah, come on. Now, this guy writes, I don't know, this is 4 years ago. Is 10,000 baht enough for living in Thailand? See, that's the thought of a poor person. Honestly, that's just straight up poor. You know, this guy's got here that if you live in Chiang Mai, you rent a decent studio apartment for 4,000 baht per month. It won't be anything luxurious, but it will have running water, a fan, and some basic furniture. Then he's got food. You can easily eat for 50 baht per meal. So for 90 meals, 3 meals a day times 30, that's 4,500. Then you have 1,500 baht left over for renting a motorbike. 1,500 is more than enough for 1 month. Drinks, your cell phone, and you can definitely get by on 10,000 baht a month. Now, what I would say is, no, you won't. You won't. You will scrape by for a couple of months. You can survive for a couple of months, but you're not going to be living. And I've said this many times, you're going to be existing. That's all you're going to do. You're going to exist. 10,000 baht a month is peanuts. You have no medical. You have no money for dental. You have no money for your eyes. You have no money for any kind of medical insurance, or to go into the doctor when the doctor says, oh, it's going to cost you 18,000 baht for this, or it's going to cost you 80,000 baht. You have no money. You're poor. You really have no money. You have nothing left for yourself. He's saying if you eat out every day, well, who does that? Who eats out every single day of their life and it's 50 baht a meal? I can tell you right now, I went yesterday, I got a cow mu, which is pork, what the hell am I thinking? Pork leg? Pork, right? There's a pork dish. I get it all the time. I'm blanking out. But I got this pork dish. And she said, you want egg? I said, yes, I do. I want the special, which means it's a larger size. 60 baht. Now, they have a place there that has pad thai, it has fried rice, has a bunch of other stuff, excuse me. 50 baht. Five times. 50 baht. But I can tell you, and they have places, yeah, if you want, you can get it for 30 baht. But what I will say is, those meals are so small, it's not going to fill you up. If you are a 100-pound woman, maybe it'll fill you up. If you're a 200-pound guy, one meal is probably not going to fill you up. You're going to need 2 meals sometimes. You're going to need to get a special. %37% of the population are middle class. Okay. Listen, if you're coming here to live off of 10,000 baht, you are definitely poor. If you're living off of 10,000 or 15,000 baht a month, you are poor. I hate to say it. That's what you are. You're poor. You're a poor person. You know, what is the I forgot, I gave the poverty level not long ago. Let me see here. What happens? Okay. It's about $2 a day. And for every 1,000 babies born in Thailand in 2021, eight died before their 5th birthday. But where was it that I saw yesterday? I think it was it Guyana? Which I've been to Guyana, but I didn't go where these people went, which I saw. They're earning less than $2 a day. I think it was Guyana. It was like, just like in Thailand, $1.90 or so a day. That is dirt poor. You have no money. You're barely even able to survive. Okay, but 10,000 or 15,000 baht. Come on. This is 2024. This is not 2004. You know, when I came over here, $1,000 was okay. It wasn't great, but you could live off of it quite easily. Now, forget about it. You just forget about it. You can't get by. I mean, if you want to get by, you can, but you're going to be poor. You are poor. That's all I got to say. I don't know how to explain it any other way than that. you are poor, if you're earning 10,000, if you're living off of 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 baht a month, 30,000 baht, you start to get to the point where you're not dirt poor, but you really gotta watch your money. You gotta plan everything. You gotta really look at your money and see where is it going. And you know, what kind of bills do you have? You only have rent, food, electric, water, phone bill, internet. Okay, you can live for 15, 20,000, and then you got whatever's left over. But it's not like, you know, 5,000 or 10,000 baht that you have gives you a lot of free money to spend wherever you want. I come to the grocery, I spend at least 600 to 1,000 baht every time I come to the grocery, and that is almost every day. And I've cut back. I've just said, do I really need this? Do I really want this? And most of the time I go, no, I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't, you know, I mean, I got butter in the refrigerator. I haven't used butter in 2 weeks. Just because I haven't thought of it. But can I use some? Yeah, I can use some, but we just don't cook with butter much. I got some olive oil. Well, guess what? It's gonna expire. Not expire, it's gonna be finished. Need more olive oil. Well, guess what? That's at least probably 200 baht, 150, 200 baht. You're gonna have to spend it. You want some meat? 200 baht, 300 baht, 500 baht. And forget about wine. Wine is a luxury. So that's what I'm saying. I think personally, the people who are generally come into this stream are people who are a little more affluent. They're not rich. I don't have a bunch of rich people following me on my stream. I don't believe that. I believe I have people who are comfortable. They've got some money. They gotta kind of watch it, but they're doing okay. And if they want to live in Thailand, they can live in Thailand and be very comfortable. That's what I think the people who follow my stream is, and that's because they are generally 40 to 50 and over. Now, if you go down and they're 20 years old, 25 years old, and I had people like that, I don't think they have that kind of money. They don't have the disposable income, and I think it's going to take them longer. They can't just come over here and live here. So what are they going to do? Oh, I'm going to get an ED visa. Okay, then what are you going to do afterwards? I'm going to get a Muay Thai visa. Okay, then what are you going to do? How long are you going to do this stuff? You're going to go in and out of the country, travel around the world. I see these young guys traveling around the world, and I go, is this the way you really want to live? You know. Yeah, that's another thing. You go to the supermarket, you go to the hardware store, wherever it may be, and you always see a little something. I always go, hey, let me get some of that tuna. Tuna's only 42 baht. That's about $1.30. I'm like, that's $1.30, I'll get it. And then I go, let me get 3 cans. That's only like, $4. It's $4, right? Then I go, I forgot to get the bacon. Oh, bacon's like $6, $7. Oh, I gotta get that olive oil. That's 200 baht. Before you know it, I'm like, I spent 1,500, 2,000 baht. That can go very quickly. So this is what I mean. Now, I know how my wife is now. I know how she is now about money. I know how she used to be about money. She's much more comfortable now because she makes more. We are much more comfortable because both of us earn a little bit more. She earns a lot more, but I earn a little more. So, now I can tell you, in our budget, we used to give Nicholas 500 baht a day, 500 baht a week, each. So he'd get 1,000 baht per week, and that was about 50 baht a day. So he'd get 50 baht a day to spend for food, 50 baht per meal per day. So he'd get 150 baht. Now he's not working. He doesn't earn extra money. He doesn't have extra money. So now we give him about 1,100 baht each. That's 2,200 baht a week. That's a little more than 300 baht. Now when he goes, he doesn't have to scrimp and save. He doesn't have to go, oh, 50 bahts might not cut it here. I need a drink. A drink might cost me 20 baht. The meal might be 60 to 80 baht. So now he's got money for that. So now that means money out of my pocket, money out of the wife's pocket goes to him. Now we don't have to take care of Alex like that anymore. He just, grabs whatever's in the refrigerator. We just make sure we got milk, we got cereal, we got stuff that, we got some eggs, we got stuff he likes, and he's fine. But this is what I mean. First of all, you need more money here, and if you really take a look, the prices in Thailand have gone up. I don't mean they've gone up overnight to where, listen, I complain about the haircut, coffee. All right, coffee. I remember when I came to Starbucks at first, I think it was like 70 baht for an espresso. Now it's 115. This might be 10, 15 years. I don't know how long they've been in business here. So it tends to go up, but what happens is it goes up. One year it'll go up 15 baht. The next year it doesn't go up at all. The next year after that it doesn't go up, or maybe it goes up 5 baht. So before you know it, you're looking at something and you go, wow. And I've told this story before, but I used to be able to go out and get pad thai. It was 5 baht. They had a big table full of pad thai. It had just been cooked. You want pad thai? 5 baht. And I'd get like 4 or 5 of them. I'd eat 2 of them. And I have a couple left. You can't do that now. So if you're not making, let's just say, you're only making 10,000, 15,000 baht a month, you're struggling. Why do you think these people who are, some of them are 18, 19 years old, why do you think they have a kid and get married, besides the fact that they want to screw? Because 2 people are stronger than 1. The people who have some money, or who are being backed by their parents, or who, can live on their own comfortably, they tend to get married later. They tend to get married in their late 20s or early 30s. And I don't see a lot of people talking about that, but what I will say is that if you look at it and you look at what's going on in Thailand, more people are dying than are being born. That's what I mean. I love Bali. I mean, I really like it a lot. I would say Bali is one of the places that I would not mind living if I didn't live right in the very center. I lived a little bit out, kind of like Bangkok or wherever. I don't want to live in the city amongst all kinds of people. I don't particularly like living where I live here, but I'm comfortable here. I'm fine. But I don't like the fact that it's a concrete jungle. There's thousands of people. But what I do like is that when I go into my village, with the exception of the rush hours, the village is very quiet. I go into my house. I don't hear a lot of noise, and I'm in my own world. So, but that's something else. I mean, if you look here now, you come to this food court here. Most of the places, it's going to cost you at least 70 or 80 baht, and it's going to go up to about 150 for a meal. If you're across the street, they will start out minimum about 40 baht, and they'll go up to about 80. And that's, that's a food court that's over across the street. It's much cheaper than here because it's not a mall. And, it tends to be a little cheaper. So I would think that way, but I look at everybody now that I think about it, I look at everybody that comes into the stream, And everybody that is in the stream and that communicates and that carries a conversation that comes in once in a while. And I think most of the people are a bit older, a bit more set in their ways, and they have a bit more money. So if you come over here and you're 60 years old, you're 65 years old, you're already fairly set. You may have a pension, you may have Social Security, you may have money saved, you may have rental properties that generate income. And so if you've got $2,000 or $3,000, you're easy, you're comfortable here. It's no problem. So there's that. You know, I don't see a lot of really young people coming into the chat, which, you know, that's the way it goes, I guess. But it's the younger people. I don't know. You know, maybe they get their graduation present. They've got money. They can travel in a gap year for a whole year or something. They can travel around. I just saw a thing on Netflix yesterday. It's like Home to Home or something like that. I started watching. I was kind of watching it halfway. It's about a guy. He's a German guy. He looked Asian to me, but he was German. He's on a bicycle. He was bicycling 27,000 miles. He went around the world on his bicycle. And he went to all these different places. He didn't like Bangkok because he didn't like the drivers, because he didn't like being on a bicycle in Bangkok. But he was in, he was in Myanmar, he was in India, he was all over the place. And he said, I could spend as much money I could spend as much money in this place in a week as it would cost me to go around the world in a year. So he was doing it on the cheap. He might have had $3,000. He went around the world on a bicycle with like $3,000. He had almost nothing. But when you're young, you'll do those kind of things. Like now, do I really want to go and do I want to eat like chips? That's going to be my meal. I'm going to have some chips. No, I want a meal. I want to be comfortable. So, there are some other things to think about, but I don't know where Mr. Two Quarters Korean is. I think he's back by now. He's back in the USA. I think he's back there now, which is great. I hope his journey was all right. But, I can tell you, I know he's not living off of like $5,000, $10,000 a month. He's not living off of that here. But, we don't have a problem. None of us really have a problem. If we want to go out for a coffee, we go out and have coffee. But we're not living off of 500 baht a month. All right. It's interesting to find out how much everybody's girlfriends or spouses make here in Thailand or even abroad, because I know some that are working abroad and they make $4,000 or $5,000 a month. Then there's some that work here, they're making, they're making $15,000, $16,000 a month, which is nothing. Can you live off of that? Well, they can't live off of it, but they've got somebody that they're living with, which pays all their expenses, which is another thing. If somebody's, like I said, two living instead of one, two are living together, well, that's a stronger generally, as long with all things equal, with people being decent, halfway decent with their money. I wouldn't ride a bike in Thailand because if you meet your maker, they only want to pay your family 10,000 baht and say sorry. Well, so what? In some places you might not get any money. I mean, really. And that's not always true. It depends on, do you have insurance? How valuable you are? It really depends. But let's just say you're an average everyday Joe. Yeah, you might get 10,000, you might get 30,000. Listen, when I was in the fire that I was in, this is probably now, it's got to be, I can't even think how many, 20 years ago or something. When I was in this fire, well, no, it was about 20 years, 21 years ago, because Bo was pregnant and Alex was a little baby. And I was in this fire. They came to me the first day that I was in the hospital, and they said to me, "Don't worry, we'll take care of everything." Now, I wasn't there. I was out of it. I was in a coma for 4 days. But my wife told me, "Oh yeah, they said they would take care of everything." I said, "Oh, well, that's good." So when I woke up, that's what I heard. That's one of the things that I heard. I woke up, I was bruised all over, I was battered. I was in bad shape. And then what happened was, they came in and showed me the bill. And they said, "Well, here's the phone number for this place. You need to get a hold of them. They're going to take care of it." So then they came back to me and they said, "No, they're not going to take care of it." So I called them up and I said, "What gives?" They came in and they said, "Oh, well, our insurance only covers 30,000 mod. We'll pay 30,000 mod." And I told them, "Piss off." I said, "You don't pay anything. I don't want anything from you." Because I thought I was going to sue them. And then when I figured it out, it was like, it was like something like, it cost me like 1,000 baht for every 25,000. They were going for a couple of million, so it would have cost me up the yin yang. And I just went, eh. Good morning, Mr. Dowlow. Good morning, good morning. Funny, I haven't heard from Gennaro because I yelled at him. He never learns. He always wants to write in Thai. It's like, I understand you want to write in Thai. You can always message me off the internet. You can message me in Thai if you want, and then I'll read it. But online, it's like everybody here, most of the people, they don't read Thai. So, we don't need that. Anyway. Here we are again. Hakamara. It's quickly become my favorite, one of my favorite coffee shops. I really like it in this place, but it's average. It's all right. The coffee is good. Service is good. It's comfortable. I always get this seat right here. It's very comfortable. Dallo, what's going on with you? I might as well ask you that. Insurance is one of the biggest scams going, if you ask me. Read the fragment. Well, yeah, I agree. I hate insurance companies and I hate hospitals. I don't like any of them. To me, they're all a bunch of shysters. Honestly, the only reason I would have insurance is because I don't have enough money to pay if I have to. And if I had, say, 1 million baht sitting in the bank just for that, I wouldn't have insurance. I would self-insure. Because I think it's a ripoff. I think really having insurance is basically a ripoff. And, even going to the doctor is a ripoff. It didn't used to be. When I first came to Thailand, it was to me, it was very on the level. It was very reasonable. Now I come here and I always got to check the bill. I always got to talk to people. I always got to go, why is this? What's going on here? You told me this. Now it's that. It's ridiculous. Very seldom do I go into a hospital and I just go in and I leave. And when I do that? When I get like a free flu shot or something like that. And even then, they're bugging me to see, you got it free? You have this? You have that? Of course I do. Now, The one thing I'm going to say is that obviously if you go towards Isan, that's a poorer region than Bangkok. People come to Bangkok to work to make money. It's much poorer. You go up into Chiang Mai, you're in Kanchanaburi, or you're down in the south, even working on a rubber farm. You tend to have more money. You know, now I know that some people, you know, they have trucks. They're down in the south and they got trucks, and the payment on the truck might be $600 a month. Then they got insurance. Then if they have an accident, then they got to do maintenance. Then they got to, so they're spending $1,000 a month just on the truck and insurance. They might be making $1,500, $2,000 a month. And then if things go bad, they're making $500 a month. This is not, you know, the whole country is not the same. I guess that's what I'm getting at. So I do understand why people think that Thailand can be poor. There are some poor places in Thailand, yes. There are some people who are dirt poor. But if you look at, just look in Pattaya. You think the girls are asking for 1,000 baht for a short time now? You think they're telling you 1,500 baht, long time, buddy? No, they're not. They want money. They want real money. Give me 5,000 baht. That way, if I go with one guy a month and I go with 20 guys, I make 100,000 baht. They're making decent money. Why would they want to do anything if they're going to make peanuts so they can scrape by? Well, that's another thing. You don't generally see hungry people in Thailand because there's always enough food to go around. People can always get by on fish and rice, fried rice, whatever. They manage. Which is, you know, obviously eating is the first priority. That and lodging, accommodation and food. If you got that, then you're in good shape. Now, you gotta have electricity. Like I said, my electricity has been quite high. It's been $250, $200. That's high for Thailand. Now, right now, the last bill was 5,000 baht. The bill before that was like $130 or something like that. So it's not bad. It's more reasonable. The price has gone down. Homeless scene on Ratchanamnern? I don't know. I don't know where you're talking about. I know a couple of places where there are homeless, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't see a whole lot of them. Well, what I do is I turn the AC off when I leave, and then I'll turn it on. But then sometimes what happens is the place gets too cold, so I turn it off. And you know, usually we sleep, we got the aircon on, and then if it gets cold in the middle of the night, we turn it off. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter about the air. It's not necessarily that. It's that we have a lot of appliances, a lot of good. We have 2 refrigerators. We have, I don't even know how many computers now. 2, 3, 4, like 5 or 6 computers, 5 mobile phones. So, you know, everything adds up. And, you know, like right now, Alex is home. Hopefully he's doing what he has to do, which is he's got to go back to the dentist. But if he's sleeping, the air is off. I turn the air off. So there's no air on. and he's all right. And then, you know, we'll take a shower. He'll be cool because he's taking a shower. Then he leaves. Okay, boom. I don't worry about the mosquitoes. I have nothing about the mosquitoes. I have no problem with mosquitoes at all. My wife is constantly complaining about them, and I don't have any of them bite me. I don't feel them. I'm very lucky that way. So, but I mean, you know, figure it out. You can figure it out. If my bill is 5,000 baht, right? My water bill is like 200. I got internet. That's 750. Yeah, solar panels. Why would I put solar panels on a house that I don't own? Now, if the owner wanted to put them on, that'd be one thing. But I don't see her doing that. And then we think about moving and we just go, it ain't right. It doesn't feel right. So we don't move. I'm not worried about dengue at all, man. I don't worry about it. I see this girl, she walks by. She has a bag on it, says young, wild, and free. A huge, I know what Rajdamnern is. I know the street. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know there was homeless all on the south side of the street. I don't know. What I do know is there are beggars everywhere. When I walk across the overpass, there are 2, 3, 4 people with their hands out. When I go down to the market, I buy stuff. I go down to the market, there's people sitting there. There's people, you know, they're sitting there on the floor and they got their hand out. There's like 3 or 4 or 5 people every time. Now, if you think about it, it's nice if you give. Okay, I understand that. But like, I always think to myself, hey man, I don't know what these people are into. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what the reality is. And sometimes I care about that. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I go, this guy looks in really bad shape. I don't care what the deal is. You know, you get 100 baht out of me. But most of the time, you know, oh, thank you very much. Nice shirt. People with their hands out in Thailand, aren't they? No, not just monks. No, definitely not just monks. The monks early in the morning, and you know, a lot of times they get food, they get rice, you know, that kind of stuff. But I mean, if I walk down the street, I'm sure I would see 2 or 3, 4 beggars at least. You know, and they're there every single day. So I think to myself, why are they there every day? They have resigned themselves to just sitting there and asking for money. And I think the government really needs to do something about that. Out where are you, Radsky? What are you in? I thought you were in like Scandinavian countries or something. One of those countries. I don't remember which one. I can't remember, man. I always forget stuff. Oh, Minnesota, that's right. That sucks. I'd rather be hot than be cold. You know, I mean, if I really want, I can walk around and I can tell my wife, turn off the light in the back. Don't forget to turn. Alex, turn your light off. I can walk around and turn the light off and it'll save me, you know, a pittance. It'll save me a little bit. But I don't always do that because, you know, it's a pain in the neck and it's like you're constantly nagging somebody. you know. Well, listen, one of the things that I've been thinking about lately is I need something exciting to do. I mean, we're supposed to go to Greece and Albania or somewhere in Europe. We're supposed to do that in May. I do think we'll do it. But to me, that's not really what I would consider exciting. I need something like I want to go island hopping in Indonesia, or I don't know what it is. I got to think about it. You know. So that's all. I'm not sure what I want to do. Island hopping, it could be fun. Could be fun. Yeah, there's always a thought of Africa, and you know, one of the things is that at the end of the year I'll have more money. I have more money because I have Social Security coming in. So that means I get more money. I have more money. I can do more things. So maybe what that'll mean is I'll do things. I don't know. We'll see. There's two parts of me right now. There's the part of me that is like, I just want to chill out and relax, put my feet up, do a little yoga once in a while, eat right, and that's it. And then there's the other part of me that says there are more exciting things in life to do. I need to do them. And you know, that means I got to bring my wife with me, and you know, is she going to be able to? Is she working? Is she stopped working? What's the deal? So anyway, it's something I've been thinking about, because you know, this is the life and times of an American in Bangkok. Through thick and thin, good and bad, rich and poor, and all that other stuff. Poor guy always angry. I don't know who you're talking to. Anyway, that's about it. No, I don't have to pay tax on my Social Security. Definitely not. Yeah, I don't really want to go to Turkey. I know I've heard a lot of good things about it, but I don't want to go there for some reason. But the Greek islands, yeah. India, I won't go there now. I just don't want to deal with it. I don't want to hassle. I don't want the hassles, man. You know? But no, Andy, I don't have to pay tax on my Social Security. I don't know where you heard that. Now, if I earned a certain amount and I went over the threshold, then I would have to pay tax. But I'm not going to earn over that threshold. I'll make sure that I don't earn over that threshold, or that it looks like, you know, because I don't want to pay the taxes. And I shouldn't have to. And the only place that you have to pay tax is in the United States. That's the only place that can tax you. And the thing is that I wouldn't earn enough just from that to be taxed. So I'd have to earn more money that was showing. I would have to show and display that I'm earning more money from a certain particular method. And then maybe then I would have to pay taxes. I don't think so. So, I don't want to live back in the United States. I don't want to think about the United States. I want nothing to do with the United States. The only reason I'll stay in the United States is to help take care of my parents. I don't think I'm going to have to do that. And if something happened with them, I would be there and I would do whatever I need to do And other than that, I don't want to be in the United States. I got no reason to be there. I don't care. And you know, the thing is, like I've said, and I know people may not believe me, but there may come a time where Bo can, when she stops working, she'll stop working, and I'll be able to go places. She'll be able to go places, and we may live in one place for 6 months and then come back here for 6 months. We may live in a place for 3 months and then live here for 6 months and then go somewhere else for 3 months. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm just kind of taking it as it comes, which is generally what I do. I wing it. That's kind of what I do. Wing it and see what happens. But I know that I'm in a good place, and in a couple of years with her job, we'll be in a much better place. So, you know, and we actually have thought about Italy. Oh God. Invest in Thai gold. Buy a condo as an investment. I think the only thing we would probably do is buy a condo and let one of the kids live there and pay the rent. And then eventually it will be paid off, and they can either have it or they can sell it, or we can sell it, or whatever. But in Thai gold, I mean, you know, I don't mind getting 5 or 10 baht of gold. That I can do. But more than about 10 baht, I mean, that's about 10 grand. I don't want more than that. The prices are very high on gold right now, and I don't know if they're going to continue to go up and up and up. And it may be a long time, and I don't know how much time I got left. Oh yes, I should hit this. I'm getting all these smiles. Thank you. Whoever's clicking all the little smiley faces, thank you. She gets bonuses, and she's got the, what's it called? The Provident Fund. She has the Provident Fund where, you know, if she puts in $1,000 a month into the Provident Fund, then they'll put in $1,000 a month. Although they have a limit. So like if she says, oh, I want to put in $1,500, they may say, well, our max is, you know, $800 or something. So she probably would only put in what they match. So if she put in, say, $800, they'd put in $800, she's saving $1,600 a month. Then obviously 10 years of that, and she'd be doing all right. Listening to myself during COVID, spotless streets, gorgeous, every food delicious. On the South Coast next time, get on the boat to Greece. Yeah, I knew somebody who stayed in Turkey during the COVID, and they really liked it at first. And then after a little while, they got tired of it and they wanted to leave. She does get bonuses also, which is a good thing. She gets like 3 bonuses. It's, you know, she works for a good company, I'll say that. I mean, it's an international company. She's lucky. And, you know, she worked hard to get where she is. She works very, very hard. And I just leave her alone. You know, when it comes to that, I leave her alone. She doesn't mess with me in YouTube or writing or anything like that. She doesn't mess with me. And I don't mess with her. You need to do this, go right ahead. That's how I, you know. Anyway, I think it pays to remember that, you know, you're in these places and you've got all these, like, let's just look at the coffee shops. What do you think? Do you think all the Thais in the coffee shops are dirt poor and they're like scraping together 100 baht to pay for a coffee? No, it's not true. You know, and some of them, they live with their girlfriends, or they're getting married, or they're married, or whatever, and, you know, together they're making like $80,000 a month, and they got plenty of money. So I think that's very important to remember. You know, you don't come to Thailand with this mentality that all of Thailand is dirt poor. Some people are poor, yes, but it's not nearly what it used to be. I can say that. With all honesty, I can say, when I first came here, it wasn't the same as it is now. Now it's a lot more affluent. I mean, you got SkyTrain, Subway, CityLink. You got different boats, and they're electric boats. You got all kinds of malls now. There didn't used to be a lot of these malls. Yeah, I mean, it's like, somebody told me about Udon. Udon is very developed now, Udon Thani. When I was there, the mall was a dive. There was really nothing there. It was very boring. You go in there and you go, get out of here. I've heard good things about Turkey, but I'm just not into it. I'm not into the whole, I don't know. There's other places I'd prefer to go first than Turkey. I'd rather go to Greece, I'd rather go to Italy, I'd rather go to Albania, I'd rather go to Croatia, I'd rather go to Hungary, I'd rather go to Romania, there's many places I would rather go. Well, Thailand is a developing nation, and it's, as I said, I think it is much better in some ways than like the United States. I mean, that's just my opinion. I hear about the United States, I remember the United States, and I think, okay, what happens when you go and you buy a meal? Well, the meals are generally more expensive. You get more for your money. You probably get a bigger dish. You get, supersized dishes, but you're going to pay for it. Things like cars in Thailand are more expensive because you got to pay the duties. So there's trade-offs. But like, depending on where you are in the United States, do those particular states, is their transportation system better than, say, the transportation system in Bangkok? I don't think so. I think the transportation system in Bangkok is phenomenal. I would say Japan probably is a little better than what it is here, but it's more expensive. And, to be honest, I was like, the other day I paid something like 47 baht for a trip on the SkyTrain, and I went, 47 baht? Why am I paying that much for a trip on the SkyTrain? I'm like, that's not cheap. Maybe it's because the MRT I get for half price because I'm old, and the most I pay is like 19 baht. So then the SkyTrain looks more expensive. That's probably what it is, but nonetheless, you can get around. I can go all over the country, or all over the country really, using different methods of transport. I don't even need a car. And I thought about it, and I think about it all the time. I think maybe I would get a motorbike just to piddle around. Yeah, all right. So I don't have to go on these motorcycles. I don't want to ride with somebody else. And then I think, maybe I could get a car. Well, I would only drive the car if I'm going to go somewhere where I really wanted to make sure I had a method of getting around, and that's not very often. I know the United States is not as bad as some people make it out to be. But, like I said, I've been here for almost half my life. I have no desire to go back to the States. I have nothing there except my family. And that is the only reason why I would go back, to help them. That's the only reason. I wouldn't go back, I wouldn't go back for my friends. Hey, I got to be around my friends. No, sorry. They want to be around, well, I can go there for a visit. They can come here for a visit. That's fine. I can make a Skype call or whatever. It doesn't matter. Why do I need to go back? I don't need to go back. So to me, the United States has nothing. on Asia and on Thailand. Now, what I will say, since I've been here half my life, almost half my life, another couple of years I'll be here half my life. If you need any help, you need assistance, send me an email at anamerikaninbangkok@gmail.com. Send me an email and we can work something out. Doesn't matter if it's a little relationship issue. Doesn't matter if you just got some questions about moving here, living here, visiting here, whatever it might be. I think I can help. I think I'm pretty well grounded and I've been through just about everything here, you know. I'm really looking forward to going to Italy. Hopefully we'll fly from Bangkok to Rome. I would like to go to Italy. And actually, I don't want to go just to Rome. I just don't think that's what I want to do. I would really want to visit all over. And I'd like to go to Sicily, you know. But, you know, these things, maybe when I'm a little older, this is what I'll do. It might be a couple of years, you know, 2-3 years, before the kids are entrenched in their jobs and they're doing what they want to do and they decide, okay, we're going to live here. Oh, we don't want to move. Maybe it's me and the old lady will go somewhere for 3 months. We'll travel around. We'll come back here and we'll stay here for 9 months. I don't know. And that's the beauty of life, is sometimes, you know, everything is not guaranteed. And nothing is final except death. Other than that, nothing is final. You know, I could go to Italy and find a place over there and I could be like, oh my God, this is the most beautiful place. It's absolutely phenomenal and it's not that expensive. Maybe we should buy it, honey. My friend was gonna buy a place in Albania. He's like, it's so underrated here. And at the last minute he didn't buy, and now in May he's going over there and we may go and check it out again. And he may actually buy a place, I don't know. Rome, Naples, Florence, Milan, and Venice. Yeah, I want to go some places that are off the beaten track, so to speak. Places people don't often hear of. That's kind of what I want to do. Lots of Australians in the stream today. Thank you very much, everybody. All you Aussies coming in here. I appreciate it. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Not very good. That one was not all that good. It's not that sweet. I don't know why. Anyway, doesn't really matter. I'm good. I'm happy. I don't know what Alex is doing right now. He was supposed to go to the dentist, but Andy, I'd love to get your recommendations sometime. I got 2 places in Greece. Yeah, that's the thing, is my buddy was going to buy a place right on the beach, and he just didn't. It was a timing thing where he couldn't get the money over by the time he left, and you know, there's a bunch of things like that. But he may do it when he comes in May. And this is the guy who's got the place in Ecuador. So you know, the place in Ecuador, he spent $100,000 on that place. He's put about 10,000 extra since then, but he put $100,000 for the land and to build the house. That's what it cost him, $100,000. That's really pretty cheap. How many countries you been to? I can't see because the little heart thing is passing it up here. Can't see yet. When somebody else comments, I'll be able to see. 24. That's it? I thought you've been to a lot more than that. I've been to about 60. And I'm not trying to build up more, to be honest. I would like to go to Africa. There's some places I'd like to go. I still want to go to the Masai Mara. I want to go down the Congo. There's a few things I want to do, but maybe I'll be an old man when I do these things. I don't know. I'm getting old now. You know, I am old. I'm not that old, but I am old enough to where there's certain things I can't do anymore. And that's what I was thinking about. And that's what I think about all the time. I think about, it's not like I'm going to go running around and going all over. Hey, thank you very much, Oz. Oz Scale Modeling. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate that. That helps overall. Well, yes, Dowlo, I hate to say it is, but it is. And I don't mean like you're just an old man and you can't do anything, but obviously you can't do things that you could do when you're 25 or 35. There are some things you just can't do. And the same thing goes with me. And you know, I have to appreciate that in my old age, I'm like a fine wine, but in many ways the wine is much different and it's not what it used to be when I was much younger. You know, I don't have the endurance, I don't have the stamina that I once had, which when I was in my 20s, I never got tired, ever. Oh, Kenya. I'd like to go to Kenya. I'd like to go to Kenya and Tanzania and South Africa, but I'd like to go to the Congo. I'd like to go to, the DRC. I'd like to go throughout Africa, to be honest. I'd like to go to Angola, Ghana. You know, now, when I'm a little older, maybe I'll have more money and I can afford to go to these places. I don't know. But, you know, I'm also thinking about what kind of hassle will there be when I'm there. If I got to throw money down the toilet because people are trying to rip me off, then I don't really want to go there. Which is why, listen, India, I like the whole vibe of India and everything, but I don't like the fact that there are people asking you for money, there are beggars, there are kids, oh my God, it just would get on my nerves. I'd be like, get away from me. And you know, what are you gonna do? You gotta be mean to the guys? I don't wanna be mean to anybody. Namibia is supposed to be fantastic, honestly. You know, they have a train in Namibia that does not run, or it didn't run when I saw the show. I think that was that Andrew Bourdain? Or was it somebody else? But they had a train, and they still worked for the train, but the train didn't run. It was fantastic. Zanzibar, Ethiopia, Madagascar. Yeah, and so are you, Andy. Okay, you guys are both spring chickens. Come on. Listen, I'm talking about, can you do some of the things you did when you were 25? Maybe, but many things you cannot do. There are certain things you will not be able to do. I don't want to try climbing the side of a mountain. I just don't want to do it now. I have no reason to try to do that. I knew a fighter from Namibia, and I was very in with him, and we were going to start, and I was going to make a couple fights for him and everything, and unfortunately, he wasn't on the level with me, and now, you know, he's too old, and he doesn't fight anymore, and that's that. I did my research on him, my background check on him, and I was like, dude, you can't try to, you've got a contract with somebody in England, you can't try to get me to get you to fight, you know, and go behind this person with a contract, behind their you know. And then I think to myself, would I live in Africa? I don't think so. I don't know. Never been there. I haven't been to that continent. And I think maybe if I took my wife there, she'd fall in love with the place. What is that place? It's not Madagascar. Mozambique. My friend went to Mozambique, and he was on the beaches of Mozambique. He said it was absolutely incredible. And it wasn't very expensive. And I'm like, wow, that sounds like a place for me to go. You know, I bring my wife there and she goes, oh my God, this place is awesome. And, you know, but I just don't see her going, oh, let's go there. I see her more like, you know, like in the United States, like in some parts of South America, the Caribbean. Okay. Well, I did go to Nepal. And I would still, at this juncture, I would probably, if I went within about a year or two, I would still trek to base camp in Everest. I would still go there. And you can go there for, it's, you know, you can go there for about $2-3 grand. Oh, boy, I don't know what happened, but it's not that sweet today. I'll never get another one of those. Usually I stick with my espresso. I didn't get an espresso today. And I got to go to the grocery in a few minutes. So that's what I'm going to do. This is one of those days where I have to go to the grocery, and I'm stocking up because I'm starting on my carnivore / keto diet again. I have quite a few items in the freezer now, so I can just like not buy anything and I can just eat. Do I like Canada? I went to a place in Canada. I met my father there. And I really liked it. The name of the place was Kitimat. And we did a couple of really cool things. We went out on this guy's boat, and we're just cruising along. I mean, we're like, I don't know, we're in an area where there are a lot of houses and stuff like that, but it was like an intercoastal. And the next thing I know, there's killer whales around us jumping near the boat. And I'm just like, holy moly, you know, it was fantastic. And that was pretty awesome. And then the guy said to us, listen, if I'm lucky, we can get this guy to take us out on his helicopter. I said, oh, wow. You know, my father's like, oh, that'd be great, you know. And I'm like, yeah, okay. And in the meantime, we're eating, like, you know, the biggest crab you can imagine. They got, like, you know, big trays just full of crab and drinking vodka. And it was really fun. And then we get the call, okay, you're going up in the helicopter. So I got to sit up in the front, which was kind of cool. That was my third trip on a helicopter. Well, actually, that was my first. And then I went 2 times when I went fishing in Alaska. But I was out, and we went out in the middle of the bush. There was nobody there. Nobody. We're out in the middle of nowhere, and we're just on a sandbar, and we're fishing. That was the most fantastic time. I mean, I really had a good time when we went there. You know, and I'm just kind of along for the ride. You know, everybody knows my father. Nobody really knows me, but it was fun. And I have good feelings about Canada, aside from the fact that, yes, it is very, very cold. You know. Kitimat is awesome. Just worked there for a year and a half on a 670-kilometer LNG pipeline construction. Yeah, that place is so cool. Hey, Steve, how you doing? Well, it was pretty cold there when I went, but, you know, we went fishing. What did Alex just write me? He said, what the... I'm going to have to call them in. Oh, that was probably Saturday. What's today? Tuesday. 28th is a Saturday. 27th is Saturday. 28th is Sunday. Poor kid, you know, he's got braces. He's got braces and he's got wires. You know, they put the little braces on your teeth and then they put the wires to go through your teeth. And she put the braces on the first time and they popped off. It popped off. So he had to go back in. Fortunately, he was walking. He goes, I think one of my braces just popped off. So we went back in and, oh, they specifically said it has to be her who put the piece back. That's so wrong. Because now what happened is he's got these braces on and a big piece popped off. So she has to put it back on him, which is on Saturday. So he can't just go in today. I told him, why don't you go in today and they'll just put it back on. But it has to be this woman. She's an orthodontist. So anyway, yeah, but Kitty Mat, I had such a, you know, I have really good memories of that place. And I don't even remember where, I don't even remember where I slept. It might have been on the sofa. I don't really remember anything except everybody was so nice. I don't even remember who it was. I don't even remember their names. I have no idea. 14 days, you guys are on the countdown. Well, Mr. Two Quarters Korean's on the countdown as well. I think it's 119 days or something like that. So, it won't be long. You know, now I'm here and I'm like, do I want to go somewhere else? Yeah, I do, but it has to be the right place. And I hate to sound picky, but I am. I'm picky. I'm picky about where I go now because I've been a lot of places and I don't want to go the same place all the time. I don't know what else to say. I don't want to go to the same places. You know, and it's like I was thinking to myself, I need to go back to Myanmar. I need to go back to Cambodia, and I'm like, yeah, I do, but you know, it's not like I've been there, done that. Yeah, I don't know about KL. KL doesn't give me a Woody. I don't know why, but it never has. I'll tell you what, in Southeast Asia, about the best place that I can think of in Southeast Asia is in Indonesia. The best places are in Indonesia. You have Sumatra, you have Jakarta, you have Bali, you have the islands around Bali. You have all these islands. You have, G-Land, where all the surfing is done. You have all these great places. And it's a really good vibe. It's not the same vibe as it is here in Thailand. It's a much different vibe. And you know, it looks like it's going to rain outside now. It's starting to get windy and it's black out. So maybe that is one of the places I'll go, is Indonesia, because it's fairly inexpensive. They've got forest and animals, wildlife. They've got beaches. They've got everything. And it's big. So maybe I'll go there. I don't know. I got to talk to the wife, because, you know, I got to see how on board she is and how on board she is if I go, honey, I want to go somewhere for like a month. Just take off for a month. You want to come with me? Not really. Well, you come with me for a week or two and then you go back. So, you know, I got to figure it out. Anyway, that's what life is now. Figuring stuff out. Always figuring stuff out. Like I said, yeah, I'm back. You know, I'm eating some shit when I'm at the coffee shops because I got to try out the food. But I want to get away from that, at least for a few weeks. I want to, you know, cycle a little bit because I got plenty of videos now. I have about 70 coffee shops that I've rated, and you know, I like the keto diet. Sometimes just the carnivore diet. I like that. So today I'm going to buy some fish. I'm going to buy some bacon, and I'm going to probably buy some chicken and some beef, and that'll be it. And then, you know, that's it. I'm done for the next week. I got enough food to eat. So anyway, guys, I think it's time for me to go. It's nice talking to everybody. Hang on, from a cool coffee cafe in Bangkok. Take care, Steve. You know, I've been meaning to call you, Steve. Maybe today sometime, I don't know, in the afternoon. Maybe I'll give you a call. Cool coffee cafe. Hang on, from a cool coffee cafe in BKK. I don't understand. I don't understand you. But I got a lot of coffee shops, and you know, to be honest, I always have said, you know, my biggest weakness in shooting videos and making videos, it's me shooting them with a particular type of oh, I went to that one. I've been to that one twice. It's always about, you know, like, how am I going to put the story together? I shoot all kinds of footage. I got all kinds of footage. I just don't know how to make the video. I went to Rolling Roasters twice now. I've been there. And it was very nice. I really liked it. Yeah, they got some good coffee. They also have mixed drinks there, if you're interested in that. But, you know, they have tequila, whiskey. They have all kinds of stuff like that. They have an upstairs, and they have a big upstairs, a small upstairs. And actually, 2/4 Korean went with me there both times. You know, I went once, and I forgot to do some stuff, and then I went back again. Yeah, that place is pretty cool. Factory's pretty cool. Caro Coffee's pretty cool. Gavin Coffee is the best. Sarni's is always good. So there's a lot of places, and I will put down below later today, I'll put in the new website URL. I'll put up the rankings on there, so at least you have those. And then we'll just take it from there, you know. I have the rankings for the coffee. There's some really good coffee shops on the list. And I'm just adding to it all the time. You know, the trick is to do videos that, you know, do the places justice. And I can't always do that, or, you know, I don't know. I'm very apprehensive because I always think, this is not good enough. But anyway, that's all I have. So, thank you very much for joining me. I appreciate it. Smash the like button, subscribe, super chat, super thanks, Patreon, buy me a coffee, Cash App, Wise. What else? Wise is great. That's it. Anyway, thank you, and I hope I passed the audition. That's the Beatles. Anyway, I'll see you next time. Friday. I believe it's Friday. All right? So I will talk to you all later. Ciao.